Welcome back, everyone. This troop of monkeys have shown some very strange behavior after one of their troop members died. They huddled around their dead comrade for hours and even screamed in anguish as they didn't understand what had happened to him. It would be funny if it wasn't so sad. But unfortunately, this little monkey didn't know that his friend was actually a robot. In fact, this troop of langur monkeys were mourning what they thought was a dead baby langur who had passed away from natural causes. However, little did they know he was actually a robotic spy monkey, designed to film these exact moments. This footage was filmed whilst making the BBC series Spy in the Wild. We can see the troop huddling around the little robot langur. They're trying to figure out what's going on because obviously the robot is not moving or making any noise. It looks like the troop have already accepted that this little guy has died, but they don't understand why. Now, the reason why this troop are being so weird is because they're incredibly empathetic towards each other. So when they saw one of their own, which looked exactly like one of their own, lying on the ground not moving at all, they thought that it must have died. So they started screaming and making loads of noise. You can tell how distressed these monkeys are by the way they're moving. Their arms are flailing everywhere and they're letting out these really high-pitched screams. Langur monkeys are known for being super empathetic towards each other and will often scream if they see another langur in distress. So this is totally normal monkey behavior. Even though this is sad, we can't help but feel a bit happy that these monkeys are so caring towards each other. After a few minutes, one of the monkeys decides to try and pick up the fake langur. We've seen many animals do this if they think their friend is dead. It's almost like they want to check if they're still alive. However, this little guy doesn't seem to be having any luck. He's trying his best, but the fake langur just won't move. I bet this monkey was very confused when it realized that its friend was actually a robot. Even though it knows its friend isn't actually dead, I bet it was still very confused about the situation and probably felt a bit embarrassed for thinking that its friend was dead in the first place. One thing that makes us think that this troop knows the fake langur is actually a robot is because they've stopped screaming and have gone eerily silent. It's like they've all agreed that they are not going to make a peep about the situation anymore. We can see one of the monkeys using its hand to try and move the fake langur, but it's not having any luck. If you look closely, you can see that there's a little red dot on the fake langur's head. Now, we don't know whether the monkeys can actually see this red dot, but if they can, then they probably know that this is a robot and not a real langur. So far, no monkeys have tried to pick up the fake langur by its tail. If they did this, I'm sure the fake langur would swing a little bit as it's attached to the ceiling by a wire. The monkeys could also easily rip off the fake langur's tail and throw it across the room. However, none of the monkeys have done this yet. It's been over 20 minutes since the troop found the fake langur, and it seems like they've finally given up on trying to wake him up. One of the monkeys slowly walks up to the fake langur and gives it a gentle pat on the head. It feels like he's giving it a pat of sympathy. It's interesting that none of the monkeys have tried to eat the fake langur. We've heard of hungry monkeys stealing other monkeys' babies just so they can eat them, so I was quite surprised that none of these monkeys tried to eat the fake langur, especially when it was lying there lifeless. Now, I think the reason why the monkeys haven't tried to eat the fake langur is because they can tell that it's not actually a real langur. I mean, if it was a real langur, then one of the monkeys would have definitely tried to eat it by now. It's been over half an hour since the troop found the fake langur, and we can see that one of the monkeys is now sitting on it. I wonder if the monkey is too scared to move the fake langur in case it wakes up and screams at him. Some of the monkeys have left the room, but the majority are still sitting around the fake langur, watching it intently. I think the monkeys are wondering where all of the other monkeys have gone and why they never came back. The monkeys have been sitting around the fake langur for ages, and we can see that one of them has now started grooming itself. It's amazing how even though this troop has lost one of its members, it still carries on with everyday life. Another thing that's interesting is that none of the monkeys have tried to climb on top of the fake langur. If this was a real langur, then the monkeys would be all over it and probably start biting and scratching it. The troop of monkeys have now left the room, and we can see that one of them is sat right outside the door. I think the monkeys are probably taking turns to sit here and watch the door in case the fake langur wakes up and tries to escape. Now that we've seen the monkeys react to seeing a dead baby langur, I'll tell you a bit more about langur monkeys. Firstly, langur monkeys are very intelligent creatures and are known for being able to recognize themselves in the mirror. This is a big sign of intelligence and shows that these monkeys are much smarter than most people give them credit for. Another interesting fact about langur monkeys is that they have a very diverse diet. They're not picky eaters and will happily eat anything from leaves to fruit to insects. In some cases, they've even been known to eat small reptiles and birds. One last fact about langur monkeys before we end this video is that they are under threat from poachers. These poor creatures are often targeted by poachers who want to sell their fur or use them as pets. This is why there are now only around 6,000 langur monkeys left in the wild. Now it's time to make your voice heard. Comment below. What did you think of this video? If you want to see my short videos, then check out my other content. Thanks for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed. And if you haven't already, then what are you waiting for? Subscribe to my channel.